Hello again to all our subscribers and viewers. It's great to have you with us. Today we're featuring a car that everyone knows. It's a 1985 Chrysler Town Country wagon, a member of the well-known K Car family. But this one's special. Owned and cared for by a young man who loves vintage cars, but he always wanted something from an era he remembers. We all do that, right? Today we meet Sam Anderson, who is now entrusted with the care of this one-owner wagon. We met Sam at a recent car show, and he's every bit as proud of his car as anyone that has a rare muscle car or classic. You'll love this story and how the car is named after its one elderly lady. Now, let's go for a ride. No, you want to be up.
I'll be up. All right, Miss Edna.
Alrighty. Yeah, we'll see if she plays nice.
Say hi, Sam.
How do? 3 pumps for luck.
Hold on.
Oh.
I don't like going for rides because I'm way too damn big.
Nah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go. There we go.
Good girl.
Yep. All right. And we're off. This is what, yeah, we're about to prepare to feel 101 horses to the front wheels in a car that's a ton and a half. Never felt anything like it. But no, it's super nice because unlike a lot of newer cars, the wheelbase is so wide and the tires are so small, you feel a bump over miles.
And here's our first test.
Yep.
What speed bump?
Yep. In this second, and that's third. It's actually shifting really nice. Usually it kicks pretty hard and out of gears.
She's playing good for us.
Oh yeah, she loves the camera. I was actually gonna say this car actually has a little bit of a cinematic history. A very similar car same model year was used in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's right.
Yeah, and then Frank Sinatra actually owned one of these. He had the 2.2 turbo, whereas this is the 2.6 naturally aspirated. But yeah, it's got a little bit of cinematic history. See if there are any straightaways. Yeah.
Yeah, that scene in Ferris Bueller where she's yelling at her, but just slow down.
Yep.
Driving back from the police station.
Yep. So and she's racing there. Yeah. Do 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 do. Yeah. Yeah. Ferris Bueller.
Right.
Ferris Bueller. I've ruined Ferris Bueller because anytime it's on screen, I gotta. There it is. You can look at it on screen. And I got it in the garage.
Is it the same year?
Same year.
Wow.
They have They have the leather interior, and I think theirs is the 2.2 naturally aspirated, but same model year, same town and country, same color. It's all practically identical.
I haven't been in an old station wagon in a long time.
I was gonna say sorry about the AC. It's out. But yeah, Edna's most comfortable going 45, and anything above that, she's not usually happy.
Good for cruising around the park.
Oh yeah, and I love taking her out to Walmart, get groceries.
Yeah.
Going out to AutoZone to get her new parts. She especially loves that. Hills though, hills not so much. She's not a fan of hills. She doesn't like inclines. I took this thing. The fastest I ever went this thing, I topped out the speedometer. Speedo only goes to 85. I topped it out on a downhill 6 months ago. and it felt, I was only going 85, but it felt like I was going 140. It was driving one of these.
The brakes are good.
Oh yeah, driving one of, yeah, discs in the front, drums in the back. Yeah. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to point it out. My exceptionally detailed dash with the message center, not a dash, and I've got my fuel gauge and speedometer, and that's it. I don't have a tach. I don't have anything else. I've got it's bare bones essentialism.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, we're not kidnapping you or anything.
Well, not that you think. I mean, you're feeding into my ego. I'm basically tied up here. Yeah, she gets up to 45 and then just likes to sit.
Well, she's a family car.
Oh yeah, this is an inter-town car, through and through.
So what do you still need to do? Anything?
I'm just fixing it as it goes, as it comes. I fix things. I gotta get the rack and pinion redone, but that's kind of it. I'd like to just restore it, the visuals, get the wood grain looking good, get new vinyl. I'm looking to find some original vinyl sheeting. But besides that, she runs consistently. She gets me from point A to point B, no problem. She handles my screw-ups like a champ, so it's nothing much. Just kind of, I'm lucky. I get to just enjoy it. She was actually my daily driver for 3 months, and then I ran into a bunch of problems. So right now, she was a daily driver for a decade, and then a daily driver again for 3 months. So right now, she's now just a show car.
Semi-retired.
She is. She's going out to. She just gets to enjoy retirement for now. She's done her service. She's done her tours, and you can see. I mean,
you get some great comments when you're out at the shows.
Oh yeah, I get. There's usually about a handful of people at any given show that come up, and they say, "Oh my gosh, I had a car like that," or "My mom had a car like that and I hated it," or that's like my Chrysler Laser I had in high school. And then all the younger people come up and they're like, "What is that? What is that doing here? I've never seen a car like that before, except for in the cartoons." It's super fun, and it's super great because whenever I go to pick up my grandparents in this thing, I just stare out the rear view because I swear she's giving people whiplash the way they turn around to look at me. It's great. Hi. My name's Sam Anderson, and I'm the owner and caretaker of this 1985 Chrysler Town Country station wagon. I was originally looking for a Japanese sports car when I started looking for my first car, and I had always been someone who colored within the lines, never really a rule breaker or risk taker, and I opted, I was 21, and I'm like, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna tell now the owner I buy a project car. But I kept looking for Japanese sports cars, couldn't find one that was in my price range, couldn't find one that was mostly together. Then I found this one day on Facebook Marketplace, and I just had to have it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. We went to go test drive it with the family in November of 2022. And when we saw it, everyone just started laughing and everyone lit up, and I just fell in love with it more. I had to have it, but it was out of my budget. So I test drove it, and I had this big stupid grin on my face the entire time, but I had to walk away. So another month goes by. I can't stop thinking about it. It's driving me crazy. I call up the guy again, a guy named Kevin. And I say, "I'm still thinking about it. I'm just letting you know, have you found anyone to buy it?" And he said a whole bunch of people lowballed him, wouldn't give him what he was asking for. He said, "For you, I'll drop the price a little bit." So I think he sold it to me at a loss, but it was just within my budget. The next day, picked my dad up from the airport, and on the way back, we drove this home with him in it. Yeah.
So she has a name.
Yeah, her name is Edna. When I bought the car, Kevin pulled out all the paperwork, all the original owner's manuals and all that stuff, and I couldn't care. I didn't care a lick about it. I was focused on the car. I was ready to get in and drive it home. But my mom was flipping through, and she's like, "Oh, Edna Tiffany, first owner." We get it home, and she's like, "Oh, Sam, what are you going to name it? What are you going to name the car?" I'm like, "I'm not going to name it. It's got a name. It's the Town and Country, or we'll just call it the Wagon." She's like, "Town and Country? That's a mouthful. I think we should call her Edna. I'm going to call her Edna. It's a fitting name for a station wagon." And I'm like, don't be ridiculous. I thought it was crazy. But eventually she started calling it Edna, and all our friends called it Edna, and then my sister, and then eventually the name just stuck, and I'm like, all right, she's Edna. So that's...
Well, she has to look like a Tiffany.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not exactly a Tiffany, not a Stacy, not a Samantha. She's an Edna through and through. Right. So yeah, all the owners of this car luckily took exceptional care of it. There's not a stain or a cut anywhere. So Edna bought it brand new in 1985 from Wickenburg, Arizona at a Jones dealership. And she dailied this car for about 10 years. And somewhere between 1995 and 1997, she sold it to a collector who kept it in an air-conditioned garage, and it just sat there for almost 20 years. In 2017, the third owner, a guy named Kevin, the guy I bought it from, pulled it out, put new tires on it, redid some wiring, hoses, and rebuilt the carb, and made it roadworthy again. He then had it until 2022, and then I bought it. And I've just been taking care of it ever since.
That's awesome.
I wasn't really superstitious before I bought this car, and ever since I bought it, I've become superstitious. It doesn't like this, it doesn't like that. You can't insult the car or else they'll get mad. And the song Can't Break Away from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, she doesn't like that song. Every time I play that song, it breaks down. So that song, you can't play it if you're in this car.
What's your favorite thing about it?
Besides the fact that it's mine, my favorite thing about it would have to be the wood grain, or just how it stands out without trying. When I was looking for a car, I wanted to get something that was a pattern disruptor, something that kind of stood out among a parking lot full of modern cars. And I think I succeeded with just how square it is in the wood grain. Yeah. Yep. It's an 4-cylinder, 2.6-liter Mitsubishi engine. It out of the dealership was producing 101 horses. I like to think it's still somewhere close to that. At some point, Edna put a bigger radiator in it, probably to compensate for hot Arizona summers, if I had to imagine. But it's paid off for me because I haven't had any problems with overheating or anything of that nature. It's kind of run-of-the-mill for the time. I guess the only thing partially noteworthy is that it's got cruise control that you don't really need with this car, because once it gets up to speed, it just likes to stay. And it's old school. You got the 2 separate keys. But yeah, it's got the original privacy rollout thing. All works. All chrome, super nice. Yeah, whoever, Edna wasn't using this thing to haul drywall or lumber because it's all pristine. This was a grocery getter through and through.
Look at that. That's awesome.